See you soon.
We are streaming.
See you soon.
Are we?
Yeah, we are. Because I hit the button too
Hello.
early, but it's fine.
Sweet.
Hello.
Streaming. Sorry, that was a friend of mine, Tyler, asking to borrow a PS4 controller for the night.
Boy, a PS4 controller.
Yeah,
On the night that we decided to have a massive tournament.
He's coming in like an hour and a half, so it's all right.
That's
good.
cool. I mean,
Anyway.
he can come now. We can have him in the podcast.
Anyhow, hello and welcome back to the DemureCast.
Episode
3, technically.
And today we have Led
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin II, the coolest band of the coolest album.
Chunky boys today. We have beer. We have olives.
I mean, help yourself to olives.
Josh has.
We have
beer.
beer.
We have olives.
We have olives.
Is
And
this-
we have existential.
Is this product placement?
Nah, we're okay.
We just covered the brand. We bought it.
You know, actually, I heard something about.
Huh?
Okay.
It's very unrelated.
Sure thing. So today we are covering Led Zeppelin II, as Simone said, and we get to start off with the wonderful music of Whole Lot of Love.
Yeah.
Can you boys hear that a bit better?
Yes.
Whole lot of love.
A lots of love.
Which
Lots
is
of love
what
to
I have for
everybody.
you guys.
Aww.
Aw, big hearts.
It's getting all mushy in the beginning of the episode. So
this is gonna be a mushy episode we decided just now.
Simone, when did Led Zeppelin II come out? Go.
69.
How many other Led Zeppelin albums came out in '69?
One out of Zeppelin 1. Or
Did it for 68?
no, I think that both Zepp 1 and Zepp 2 are 69. Zepp 4 is 68 as a replacement band.
As an extra bit of trivia, how much time passed between Zepp 1 and Zepp 2?
3 months.
Was it 3 months?
No,
I think
that's-
so-
no,
I think-
no,
I think it was
I have
6.
no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I think it was 6 as well, yeah, or it was 9. It was
It was
a-
6, or was 9, or was 6, 9. 6 or 9 months.
It was
in
a
69.
multiple
Ooh, nasty
of
year
3.
and period.
There was a multiple
But it was
three, okay.
it was a short amount of time, which is very impressive. So, give me a memory from hearing this song, guys. What do you hear when you hear "With All Little Love"? The
A lot
intro,
of
the
random
middle.
noises.
Lots of rides and
Yeah,
and just a just
yeah.
beat, you know.
Punch in your face.
I mean, I remember my first memory of listening to the song was like, there are a lot of noises. They're totally random and stuff.
That's true.
But yeah, that happens when you're like 10 and like you showed Led Zeppelin for the first
A
time.
few years ago, I hated that middle section. I thought I was second but now that I'm older, I'm like, random noises.
It's
sound
only when you
great.
Now
realise.
it's like, it's sensed nonsense. you
Yes,
know?
and certain parts of the actual like instrumentation going on here, they're all designed together. Like there is some thought put out because like the drums are going like ting 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 ting. They're creating their own melody. Each individual instrument is kind of creating its own melody, including Robert Plant's voice.
I just kind of want to say, like, imagine someone that just opened the podcast and they just go like, ding ding ding, ding ding ding.
Din, 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 din. Children's show intro.
Yeah, actually, everything makes sense, but when you listen to it for the first time, it's just more like noises and
Yeah,
things that like come and go. And like, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It's actually pretty cool.
yeah,
But like, it's a bit long.
Noises can be pretty cool. Noises can be pretty cool.
definitely.
Well, it's like our song, The Deep, you know, in the middle of that song we've got a solo where you're using like a app that imitates the theremin, and it's like wee 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 when it's noise.
I do.
It's good.
And the theremin is what goes on in this middle section as well. So
There's part of it
not
there, yeah.
bad.
Yeah. I've never seen
really hear it.
Google Chrome take so long.
I know. It's because we're streaming. That's the wrong app or whatever it is. Ting, ting. Anyhow,
You're just gonna like hit with a phone into your guitar.
so how did you guys? So let's take us to the fact that we are musicians. How did you guys hear about Led Zeppelin? Tell me that story.
I think actually for me it was first got introduced through, you know, Jay from Rabbit Hole.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because when I went to
nice band. Check them out.
I went to college
Indeed.
with him about 6 years ago, and me being a rock singer, he was always like, "Oh, do you know Led Zeppelin?" I was like, "I've never really listened to them." And I think it was sometime after that, I think probably a lot later, that I thought, you know what, I should probably really sit down and listen to them, and then just check out the first few albums, and I was like, yeah,
Indeed.
he was right.
Yeah,
He was
I mean,
right.
at all intents and purposes, any rock musician should know who Zeppelin is. So.
I mean, the thing is that Zeppelin, they're at the core of
And
not
if-
necessarily rock music, but the attitude.
If
Yeah.
you
They
don't-
were one of the first band like to bring that attitude in every member of the band, and like it's energy.
Yes.
And if you don't like Zeppelin, there's always Greta Van Fleet.
If you don't like Zeppelin, that's Zeppelin II, The Revenge.
Yeah, the electric boogaloo, that is Greta Van Fleet. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them too much. It's a controversial opinion.
I don't know enough of them to
judge.
judge.
I mean, the thing is that it's always the same old. It's
Yes.
always the same old controversy. Like the music itself is not bad, but they are just massively copying something that already existed, not bringing anything new. So like, is that definable as art? Because like, what's art in the end? Like, it's self-expression.
We're not getting
but
back into
innovation
the
as well.
philosophical
I think so.
disagreement.
I think if someone, I don't know, painted the Mona Lisa but in slightly different colours, it's still art.
Depends on the message behind it.
Yeah, but when you could, like, for example, like painting the Mona Lisa in slightly different colors, like, can be associated with pop art, which is like mass reproduction and like any war with like Marilyn and like the Campbell super stuff. But if you think about it, like, that's just like reusing something that exists, altering like slightly, but creating still something new, something
So-
conceptual.
Now we move on to what is and what should never be. What are your guys' opinion of this? Have you heard it before? Don't knock the thing.
I don't really remember the other songs in the album. I cannot hear this video, but what do I think about this song? It's pretty. It's energetic and like it makes you wanna vibe with it, not just like listen to it. If that makes sense. 'Cause
What is and what should never be is people in jail in America for cannabis prosecutions in states that is now legal.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't know where that came from, but
But you know, that's a valid point. But this song, I don't know if I'd necessarily say that this is too energetic. It's got like its ups and downs, its low parts. No, don't go on Twitch because it'll lag it out.
okay.
Because it's
I
okay.
have
Someone
to
who's got it up here.
Okay.
I just put it up
I'm
here.
just
to stop
stream
myself.
master,
Don't
and
watch
guess
Yeah,
no,
it's what-
not really.
It's alright. Well, we're taping this one. Don't worry.
We are
So we've got it. But yeah, I like this track. It's obviously not one of the highlights of the album. Yeah, this album you've got.
I think this whole album's alright.
It is true, but I think there's definitely low points and high points. It's way more of a chilled song. This, you know, you've got Whole Lot of Love, you've got Heartbreaker, you've got Live and Love and Made, you've got Ramble On, you've got Moby Dick, you've got Bring It On Home, you've got Lemon Song, you've got like so
How many
many
times have you
smashed
listened to
tunes.
this album to know all the songs by heart?
Recently. That's the key.
How many
Recently.
times recently?
Once.
Sorry.
But no, I've not. I mean, I've listened to this album a fair bit, but like early Zeppelin, I kind of bunk all together as like, you know, the first vinyl, the second vinyl. They're kind of set to me, even up to the fourth vinyl, I'd say. The third vinyl, the third album, where they get a bit more songwriting, they get a bit more folky, and they have a bit more slight variations on their own.
What is your opinion on the third album? Because for me personally, I think it's probably like one of the albums I like the least.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like
Which one's the third album?
Rover,
third album
Immigrant
is-
Song,
Immigrant Song's awesome.
Since I've Been Loving You.
Since I've Been Loving You.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like it's a pretty good album, but it's just like
Right, look it up now.
probably because it's a little bit softer and slightly more commercial compared to the first two.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
I'd say they went a bit more in the opposite direction.
kinda. And like, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but
Oh, I know the
it doesn't
Friends, which
it
I'm
doesn't
not-
make me vibe as
Celebration.
much as like this does.
It's true. It's not as much of a rocky album. I mean, Tangerine's pretty good. I think that's. Is that not? No, that's, I can't remember. Tangerine, but it's got a really cool riff.
Yeah, Tangerine's
And Since
good,
I've
but,
Been
like-
Loving You's a classic song.
Yeah.
It's such a good blues. Like it's Zeppelin doing blues in the best way.
I think this album that I know the best is probably Led Zeppelin II.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is your.
I mean, having it, yeah, understandably.
But man, I mean, Led Zeppelin 1, instant classics, but they've got a couple of songs in there that I don't really listen to much. Like, Black Mountain.
That's
yeah, Days of the Year.
There's a communication breakdown, a good time, bad time.
Yeah.
which is pretty damn good.
And
We had a bit of a communication breakdown in the last podcast that you never see.
that's true.
That's gonna be
Tons.
our lost podcast. If like this in 50 years time is like found by anyone.
It was such a shame because no one even saw it.
Yeah, it was a good one, but it's alright. You know, you'll win some, you lose some. We all learn lessons on the way.
But do you know the way, my brother?
I kind of let Zep 1, Zep 2, parts of Zep 3, like Immigrant Song and such, and wait, no, the Rover isn't on Zep 3, is it?
I love that scene.
And then
Which one?
bits of Zep 4, the Rover.
I love that scene
not
in,
sure.
in Thor Ragnarok when they use Immigrant Song and they use it in the
Classic
trailer.
scene.
And you think actually like the royalties for that must have been quite a lot, like, you know.
Zeppelin is notoriously difficult to get a license
Yeah,
for
it
using their
must
songs. Lemon Song! Killer tune.
Yes.
However, a big controversial part of it is the fact that half of the song is stolen.
Okay, so guys, what is your opinion on Led Zeppelin stealing song? Are you making them into rock classics?
This one is the one I find the worst of, but mainly because I know the other songs so well.
I feel like if you want to do that, then okay, but you should at least be like, hey, we're using parts of another song. You should at least say that.
Well, yeah.
You know?
I mean, back then it was a bit more like the Wild West. Like, there wasn't so much of a structured license thing.
Copyright,
These
yeah.
blues artists whose songs they took and reappropriated
because I mean,
were
blues and folk have
more unknown.
have that in common, that sort of songs are passed down and
Yes.
songs are passed down and
yes.
adapted by different people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you need to consider as well that like, yeah, I mean like maybe Zeppelin like did plagiarism towards like an original song, but the original song as well maybe is directly derivated
No.
from like a standard that
We
maybe
leave it
that led
outside.
to derivating from a work song. So who really stole what?
True.
That's kinda
And
the
at the end of the day, like, I guess it's both your point in the fact that the only defense, the best defense would be for Led Zeppelin stealing other people's, other blues artists' songs, like way earlier, is the fact that other blues artists were stealing other blues artists' songs. Like, it happened so much that, you know, that nobody really knows who wrote half the songs.
But also, it's like,
Like, there are people credited, but are they the
when
first
was it
person?
defined as stealing? Only when copyright
Uh,
existed.
I mean, copyright existence is
but-
pretty early.
Yeah, since like the 30s, but like since
Yeah,
being
sure.
able to record stuff.
But if you're looking at, as I said, like classic, like a lot of early blues, a lot of folks, you know, the whole like stealing was kind of a part of it, taking
but I-
things and adapting.
I don't want to like excuse the fact, like
No,
obviously
no,
nowadays I don't think it'd be okay to just take someone's song and then reappropriate, package it with yours and like put other things.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Zeppelin did what Zeppelin did, and it sounds good now.
Yeah, but I mean, even like nowadays, like, 'cause for example, like plagiarizing, like, plagiarizing code sequence is basically impossible because like
Yeah.
they're gonna be reproduced, but like because of this, some songs they have basically like the same music of other song with just a different vocal line. So like, isn't that plagiarism itself? But on the other hand, like, you just play chords. So
Yeah.
you know, I mean, like the line is really subtle.
Yeah, and I think definitely it shouldn't. We've got to be very careful in certain circumstances. It's been crossed already, and I don't like it. You know, cases have been won where they can copyright a chord sequence, which
What cases
shouldn't be
originally
allowed.
can you sort of think of? I think there was something with Robin Thicke and
Robin
what's that
Thicke?
song he did, Blurred Lines? I swear there was some copyright scandal about
Possibly. The mainly
Swear
ones I
something
know are
like
like
that
the Ed
happens.
Sheeran one and like.
What was
I
the
think,
Ed Sheeran one?
the Ed Sheeran one was with.
With a lot of Ed Sheeran songs.
I can't remember. It was Marvin Gaye. Ed Sheeran and Marvin Gaye, and then they had the Radiohead one with who stole like.
I mean, I don't really remember.
It was someone stole Radiohead's, but then Radiohead were like accused of stealing it from someone else, or like the other way around or something. So now there's like 9 different bands with the credit to the song, and it's like, and
Even
it's
George Harrison with
ridiculous.
My Sweet Lord, like that was Motown song.
Yeah.
He basically like just changed the
I
lyrics.
really need a toilet, so I'm gonna
Okay.
duck out that way for a second.
Bye, Josh.
Bye.
Excused on stream. But yeah, I think that at the end of the day, it's not always okay to. It depends on each different circumstance, you know.
Joe?
Sure.
So, talking about Led Zeppelin and plagiarism, let's talk about Greta Van Fleet again. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, we can mention Greta Van Fleet, to be fair. I think, like, what... we know your opinion of it, loosely, but go on, give us a full explanation to your opinion.
I mean, the thing is that the music is enjoyable, but it's nothing more than a mere product, because it doesn't bring anything new. It copies the style of another band that really made a massive success entirely. And, like... Again, like, you come back to the songs, and the songs itself, they're not even bad. Like, they're pretty, like, good rock bangers. It's just that, like, I don't know, if you think about it outside music, and think about it, like, in real life, like, you base your whole personality, your look, the way in which you act, and your attitude, totally not on yourself, but on someone else.
But then
who are you as a person in the end?
But then what about...
I mean, you're just a mask, you know what I mean?
What about genres like things that are like very top 40s pop that have very similar sounding songs?
Those are products as well.
They're different artists, but they're doing very similar things.
It's not the case that those songs are mostly crafted to play what pleases the human ear, and so they can become hits.
But then what's the difference between that and a specific band like Zeppelin II Greta Fleet?
None. So, like, why you think about, oh, I'm listening to rock and roll, not just because, like, you listen to it, but, like, because rock and roll as well brings a certain set of values. So, like, it was created in a context of so deep social changes. It was written in a context of the youth, the young generation wants to, like, express themselves and stuff, and, like, crafting a product is kind of the opposite of, like, the whole reason why rock and roll was born. And, like, all people that like in, like, timeless rock and roll, they're going like, this is so innovative. No, it's not. It's a product. In the exact same way in, like, top 40 is.
So, welcome to the DemureCast, where we spout out our own personal opinions for 5 minutes.
You asked me about my personal opinion.
I know, I'm kidding. No, it's good. I think that we are free to talk about our own personal opinions. I personally don't have too much of a problem with them. I can see your point of view, and I did have that point of view for the longest time. But then, like, as time progresses, people can like things that they like and dislike. You know, like, I don't judge people based on whether or not they like Greta Van Fleet or not. Yes, they sound a lot like Led Zeppelin, and I do blame the main singer for that, and partially the main guitarist. But, you know, like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. If it is we'll never know if it was an attempt to recreate Led Zeppelin unless some news comes out about it. And I hope as they mature as a band, they'll move slightly away from that sound.
Sure.
I mean, I would love to hear them, like, on a slightly different sound.
But now we are moving into, I forgot it. Oh, thank you.
Oh wait, because it's spinning. Thank you. So you will say thank you as the start of the song.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
What about your personal opinion on Greta Van Fleet?
I said earlier, I haven't really listened to them much, so
that's
I don't
fair
know.
enough.
But
I mean, they're playing now.
In my opinion, when that happens, I'm like, I like Zeppelin, so why wouldn't I like Greta Van Fleet?
That's kind of I'm in between the two.
Maybe same. Like, maybe not necessarily as much, but at the same time, I'm like, when I hear it, I would at least vibe to it and go, yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because it's got a sound that I like. I guess I'll try not to think too much about it, because, like, if it sounds good, then it sounds good. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a very, very
noble
standard.
No, it's absolutely right. And, like,
yeah, it's freedom of opinion. Like, both.
It's nice as well to hear an opinion that is different.
Both points are valid at the end of the day, and, you know, nobody's music taste is better than anybody else's except people who's
Okay, enough talking about Greta Van Fleet.
The only person whose music taste is better than everyone else's is Adorno, just to let you know.
Yeah,
let's not get started on Adorno, please. Okay, so drifting away from this Greta Van Fleet. This song is called Thank You. So, guys, is there anything that you want to be thankful for?
Wait, it's not Thanksgiving.
We're not Americans anyway. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
I'm thankful for my olives.
That's a
I'm
good
enjoying
thing
them a lot.
It's a good thing to be thankful for. I think I don't know what I'm thankful for. A lot of things, you know, being comfortable, the fact that, you know, during this time,
and as shit as it is, I'm kind of thankful for the pandemic and the way that it's made me realise a lot of things that I was
Maybe not thankful.
Not,
yeah, I know.
yeah, no, not thankful
Don't
at all
wish it ever
because it's terrible. But the gratitude for things that I no longer have access to now, I'm thankful for the gratitude that it has given me.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, puts you in your place. Makes you feel grateful for
things that you always took for granted just because they were always a constant and you could never imagine them as not being a constant.
Yes.
That's where we're at now with gigs and just even stuff like, you know, seeing your own family and being able to just like, I don't know, just small things like being able to go to a pub with a couple of friends and have a good chat. You know, you know, I always took that for granted because, like, you know, 5 years ago I turned 18 and I started going to the pub, and you know, I never expected there being a day when, you know, you couldn't just go and socialise with a bunch of friends. You know, whether you're going out to get drunk or whether you're going out just to have a chat. You know, like those little things. They're important.
Very, very British. Very British.
Yeah,
values that we uphold.
It is very British. It is very British, but you know, like, you know, a pub's a good thing. It's a good way to go see your friend. Especially like a lot of the pubs in Brighton when they play awesome music and they have really good bands on and stuff like that. Like it's like, you know, general missing. Yeah.
I mean, I mainly go to pubs just to get drunk. I see your point too. Socializing.
One way of doing it.
Or non-socializing. It depends.
Depends how drunk you get.
I think.
Yeah, exactly.
We are at the end of side A.
Damn.
Almost.
Very nearly. He's right at the end. But it's really quiet at the end of Thank You anyway, because we can't really hear it very well in this room.
Closely. Approaching the end. Awkward moment of silence between the end of the song that we're feeling with scripts.
Now let's see. Has anyone tuned in?
Well,
I messaged my old assistant manager Linda because she said she was interested, so I'm going to see if.
So Linda, if you're watching, Josh gave you a shout out. Yeah.
Yes.
Josh misses you very much.
She's a lovely lady. Lovely lady.
Lovely.
And we are on the greatest intro to a side B of an album ever.
It doesn't really say. So there's no one watching us. Yeah. So hello, no one. We're just here having a chat with the camera.
Well, people will watch in the future, so it's fine. At the end of the day.
And for all of you future people. Josh winks.
Remember,
that's it.
You are beautiful. You.
Stop it,
but
you,
not you.
You heartbreakers. Anyway, great guitar riff. What can we say about that?
What we're gonna say about that? That this is the first song in history that features a proper solo without support, like just guitar going nuts, and like this solo live is probably.
I don't know if that's a fact.
It is a fact.
The first song ever to feature a guitar solo without support.
Yeah.
I think an electric one, like a rock guitar solo. Definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe
At least this is what is regarded for.
Okay.
It's
Maybe someone wrote a song with like a solo without accompaniment in the basement and it's like that. Yeah, that's close. But like, this was kind of shocking.
That's the question: is this the best song you know that's called Heartbreaker?
I mean, there's so many songs called Heartbreaker.
I know two, and the other one's my favourite.
I prefer this one just because I got into Led Zeppelin. But 3 is still a very, very kick-ass.
Well, then we're gonna have to do some 3.
We will do 3.
I think I prefer the Justin Bieber version to be honest.
Oh, yeah. He's such a hard.
No, he just is.
Yeah, every time I look at him, I'm just going, I love him so much.
Yes. Anyhow, you said this inspired Van
He
Halen.
split my heart into 2 parts. A and B.
Yes. Anyway,
Be a babe.
let's go back to the album. So you said this this bit here is by Van Halen. Tell us more about that, Simone, the guitar player.
Simone, the guitar player says that.
You alright, man?
I'm good.
Back to seriousness. Basically, like Van Halen was like seeing the Zeppelin gig, and it was like Jimmy Page going nuts playing this song. And when he plays live, he actually goes nuts for it. He was like, you know what? This is cool. I'm gonna put my own self in this to make it cooler, and eventually like he wrote Eruption. Like in years, and when Eruption came out in '78, so 9 years after this, like it was something totally unheard. Like you put on a Bible, you listen to Eruption, imagine in '78, you just go like, what is this? What is this? Like,
and we say that
so
we say that as well.
amazing.
It's like if you look at two of the most influential guitarists being Hendrix and Van Halen. You know, when you look at actually how much time was between them, it wasn't that long. And the difference in the styles is like, I mean, I love both of them for
just
different reasons, but like
Very
Jesus
different
Christ, yeah.
players, and they both equally influence.
But my question is like, could you have one about the other? Because Hendrix would there be a Van Halen?
No,
There would be.
because
There might have been a Van Halen, just not in the same way.
yeah, because Hendrix inspired Led Zeppelin, as you just said. This song inspired. Well, Hendrix inspired the whole explosion of love for electric guitar. Whereas like players like Clapton, who were really good before then, all were still kind of supporting the band. Whereas like they had their solo sections, and like Clapton was a big supporter of that, and before him, like Jeff Beck as well as and George Harrison.
I mean, I remember you saying to me before that like Clapton, I think you said this before that like it's better as a songwriter than as like a crazy guitar.
I think so. Yeah, he's a very good songwriter in
And
that
there's
regard.
definitely a place for both, but like Hendrix is like, you know,
He's
he
incredible.
writes amazing songs, but also plays really awesome shit all at the same time.
the thing about Hendrix is that when he came out, like, he was the guitar.
Yeah.
And like what Van Halen managed to do, actually inspired by Heartbreaker, was like, you know what, I'm a good guitarist too.
Yeah.
And suddenly everyone wanted to be Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
That's so cool because
Made
You
a
know what?
complete different sound.
If you've got an Eddie Van Halen, like, you needed a David Lee Roth as well,
True,
yeah. Because like, you know,
Worked very well with
you know, it's like if you're speaking in technicalities, like David Lee Roth isn't, you know, he's not someone that could do every style under the sun and do loads of crazy shit, but he's a fucking awesome
He's very
singer.
classic.
But his yeah, but it's his attitude and it's the tone that he has in his voice that makes him important.
Van Halen tend to take a lot of like old style of
Yeah.
rock and roll, like the
Yeah, I love
50s
that.
style rock and roll,
I
and
love
make
that.
it, especially in Van Halen.
Yeah, Van Halen.
Making quick.
I love that.
Yeah.
That it's just 50s rock and roll, but quick and more
And
over
over the top.
Yeah, so it's very
But in a
cool.
good way.
It's very cool.
So,
So-
would you call Van Halen a quick boy?
Living,
Let us know
loving.
in the comments.
Sorry.
It's right, just because it was gonna like blow up, it was gonna be evil for someone's ears. So Live and Love and May. Did you know that Jimmy Page never he hated it?
Yeah,
He
I
thought it was the cheesiest pop song they'd ever written and never refused to play it live.
Really? I didn't
Never
know that.
ever played this song live.
It's quite cheesy, but I like
It
it.
is. It is to their standards, I guess. But for me, I don't know. I don't find it cheesy. It's just
I mean,
a rock
like,
song.
is a little bit cheesier, but I wouldn't say it's the cheesiest Led Zeppelin song.
I haven't got any problems with this one. I think it's great, and then maybe the fact that he refused to play it live, hated it, made it more of a cult song anyway.
I mean, but it's kind of like Free from Radiohead, but like, they put it in super emotion.
Yeah, I
They
hate
never
that
said
song.
it.
But yeah, that's my thing.
Well, that's
I know what you
cool.
mean. I know what you mean. But even then, like even as a musician, I respect that song because it's pretty. Yeah, because of how.
Because it's creepy.
How it's written. It's not even that creepy. I'd say it's just how it's written. Like, you know, that chord progression didn't really.
I quite like it. I think for a reason, the first time I heard Creep properly, I was at like a sixth form gig, like where the music course was doing in Folkestone, my hometown, and a girl I knew back, I was like 17,
Yeah.
kind of fancied her at the time, and she and she got on stage and sang Creep, and then I don't know, but she had a really nice voice, and I was like, oh, this song's cool, and then like I
Kind of
I
give you
sort
a
of
good
paid yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can have that with all sorts of songs that you don't even listen to anymore. You know, you always have those like long-awaited, deep, in like deep sort of feelings about these certain songs.
So
Yeah.
I just found the Carbonara meme.
Sure.
Which is
Um,
amazing.
Yeah. Now
But
we're
we all
on
love
Ramble On.
Carbonara memes.
Yes.
Rambo is such a good song. Such a good song. Like, I love the contrast that in the same song between acoustic and electric.
Yes.
Because they're both really well made and they're both really well balanced as well. It's not the one is like overturning the other.
Even with like the click, like on, I mean that click is made, but they,
I think that's on percussion.
it's no, there's one that's going.
I didn't know that.
Oh, there's a 3-note click.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know if it was like, but they left it on. I think it's in the microphone. But yeah, they use that in the actual thing. It's a bit of a weird sound. I remember hearing it the first time and thinking that it was like an error, like an audio bug that they just didn't get rid of. But at the same time, it kind of fits. You know, it's part of the song.
Yeah, but you know, like sometimes a metronome can be almost an instrument itself.
Indeed.
Especially if it's like placed in the right point. Which is
Come
weird
on.
because a metronome is placed every beat.
Lord of the
Sometimes
Rings
having something-
references.
Yeah,
That's
Lord
true.
of the Rings references. There's as well a really cool theme in the happen in the song, which is pretty late on vocals.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about it? Because
That wasn't this song. That was on Whole Lot Love. The one that happened when it bled through.
I think there's some pretty lengthy as well.
I don't think so. I mean, there is a part where there's delay, but I think that was intentional. So there is a pretty late part where it goes like like that, and they speed it up. I think that's intentional. There might be something. But what Simone's talking about is on Whole Lot of Love, when there's a section after the riff comes back into the solo and everything, where Robert Plant's by himself, and he basically like his vocal line was soloed, and they did so many takes, and it got so hot in the studio that the tape itself bled through to the side below it, so it then created a really late, really fast delay. Sorry, like previous to the. So it created a preview light, essentially. That was unintentional, and it was just really
The unintentional mistakes ended up sounding really cool. But like, do you guys ever find that in your own process when you're recording and making tracks, that sometimes you lay down something unintentionally, you listen to it back and you're like, yeah, that sounds pretty good actually, yeah.
Yeah. Some things you just never plan for, and they just end up
they
working so well.
they end up sounding cool.
Yeah, something that is cool as well is sometimes like when you create, I don't know, like a sound that is not particularly pleasing, or like something that is not meant to sound right. And you just like build a song around it, and like suddenly for something bad kind of turns into something that is nice. And like, and it's enjoyable, and probably is the element that's what makes the song a little bit special.
I mean, there's so many things in history that happen on accident.
Yeah.
Like medicine, so many things, science, so much everything, so many technological advancements, but always happened by mistake. Drugs happen by mistake.
Man, like I think two things like LSD and MDMA were both invented initially to be an actual like help people.
Yeah. Same as well. Like I think morphine is opium. Like so.
Morphine is still used in hospitals.
And it's still used in hospitals. So
Yeah, very commonly. Like loads of accidental things become, important.
definitely, and it's one of the great things about the human race that we can turn accidents into something productive.
Newton didn't intend for an apple to fall on his head.
Well, yeah.
that was an accident, and it came up with like a fucking principle of our whole physics.
Yeah.
An apple.
That turned out to be slightly wrong.
Slightly.
But anyway, the next song, it did
It's gravity
after
wrong.
Einstein.
Okay.
Moby Dick, right? I think.
Yeah, Moby Duck.
I have to keep looking at the thing because I can't remember the order of it.
What I find quite funny as well is that I can hear the drums from the vinyl, I can hear the guitar and vocals from the laptop.
In a strange, weird provoking. So, who wants to talk for like 10 minutes through a drum solo?
I mean, we're talking about guitar solo, so now we can talk about drum solo.
Drum solos are cool.
What there is to say about drum solos?
Drum solos are cool. That's it. That's what I think. And
Also,
So that was a genuine opinion of guitarists and singers. on drum solo.
Underused.
Drum solos are cool.
underused, I think.
I think certain times,
in
yeah.
certain places.
I think Moby Dick is really good because the live version I prefer. Like when they played it in Royal Albert Hall, because John Bonham is
Inspired a lot of people.
amazing. is fantastic in every way.
Like, if any of you guys know a band called Radio Moscow, they're a band from the sort of 2010s to sort of nowish, and their first album, they've got a song that has a huge drum solo, and like that probably wouldn't be there if it wasn't for songs like Moby Dick and people like John Bonham.
100%.
Thing is, John Bonham was what like Hendrix and Van Halen were for guitar.
Yeah,
John Bonham was a massive innovator in drums, and he brought like a totally new way of just concepting like the way in which to play the key. Before him, actually drums were really pretty much straight. In most of the 60s songs, the drums are just like pa 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 pa, like most Rolling Stones songs as well.
Yeah, that's true.
When like you listen to Zeppelin, everything just like
Keith Moon,
everything makes so much sense.
Keith Moon was good. Ginger Baker was good as well.
Baker for Cream, yeah.
It's a great name.
Let's not say anything about Ringo.
We love Ringo.
Ringo. It's still going, man.
He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Wait, I thought he was a cookie brand.
I love that.
Yeah, no.
Didn't know there was a drummer.
Yeah. I mean, Ringo still influenced a lot of people.
Actually, from what I've heard, is that some of the songs that he wrote for the Beatles were actually some really nice.
Some of them really good. Some of them are strange. Like Yellow Submarine.
I don't know much Beatles, so
yeah. I mean, we should listen to Beatles on the podcast.
I think when Thomas comes to the podcast, it'll be good to do Abbey Road, because I know he loves Abbey Road.
Thomas, our bassist player.
Yeah.
He loves the
Bassist
Beatles a lot.
And also, like, apart from, I remember once, like, in my house in first year with my housemate Tom, we listened to White Album, and I thought that was really cool.
I like the White Album. I like Revolver.
I wrote an essay on the Sgt. Peppers, but I
quite like it.
It got like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds just got stuck in my head so much. I couldn't deal with it.
That is a catchy tune. Can't remember what my Guitar Gently Weeps is on, but that's a song.
I think it's maybe on Revolver, I'm not sure.
And
I mean, I don't really know the Beatles.
I quite like I Wanna Hold Your Hand as well. It's quite good. I don't know what album that's from.
That's like the first one, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't remember. It's
early.
early.
Back when it was very...
Yeah, that's very
Back
50s
when
inspired.
the Beatles were
surf inspired. Yeah. Anyhow, which then they inspired Yardbirds, which then obviously became Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
Which is cool. Like the whole
Yardbirds.
structure. Yeah. So basically, Yardbirds, like Clapton was in it, and I can't remember.
Jeff Beck was in it.
But I like it, and then like Jeff Beck took over from Clapton, and then
Jimmy Page joined.
Yeah, and then by the time Jimmy Page was, he's like the only one left after they broke up, and he was just like, we're gonna get Robert Plant to come in, I'm gonna get all these people on to come in. Apart from that, he basically just forged Led Zeppelin, because they were gonna call it the Yardbirds too, but it ended up just being Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, basically what happened
Led
is
Zeppelin's
like,
a better name.
yeah, but split up, and then like, but they still had a tour book. And so like Jimmy Page got the authorization of putting out like a new band and like do that tour, and that's how the Led Zeppelin started. And actually, funny enough, it's called Led Zeppelin because Jimmy Page had a super group before this, which the comment on it by the producer is that this is gonna fly like a Led Zeppelin. This is not gonna fly. This is not gonna work.
It's gonna crash like a Led Zeppelin.
And they changed the name.
I was gonna say, can you imagine a Zeppelin made out of lead?
Exactly.
Yeah, and they changed the name, like the first word from lead, how it's properly written, so
it's
E-A-D,
lead.
and they removed the A just because they thought that like people around the world would have pronounced it Led Zeppelin. Which, to be fair, like not being an English speaker born person, if I would have Led Zeppelin with the A, I would probably have said Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. So it's actually I didn't know that, and I like the fact that it's kind of becomes Led. So they're leading you on.
Yeah.
Leading you towards the Zeppelin.
Last song, I think.
It is, and this is Bring It On Home, which is an exceptional song. I love Bring It On Home. Because it just starts off so like chill for like 2 minutes, and then it just goes.
Okay, so let's chill for 2 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. So, anything new in the news that you guys want to discuss?
Everything new in the news. Pubs are open on the 14th of April.
Apart from pubs and alcohol and debauchery.
I mean,
what else could we talk about?
Is there anything else important in life aside from pubs and alcohol?
Yeah, what's happening in UFC? You guys like UFC?
Oh, a lot of stuff happened in UFC. obviously, but do people want spoilers? I mean, the last card was awesome.
Last card was awesome.
Last
Go
card
check
was
it out. We will talking about it with you next time.
Yeah, basically this is the free section. We can talk about anything we want as we bring it on home.
Okay.
I'm gonna con that now.
Well, now. I don't really know what to
So let's talk about the fact that not having an idea to talk
That's
say.
That sounds philosophical.
Well,
The line between philosophical and lame
is past each other. But unfortunately, philosophical stuff is also fun. So, I mean, coronavirus is still going on, as everyone's aware, but things are starting to open up a little bit. And at least soon, at least we have a date, like kids going back to school. There's hope in the world.
Yeah, man, I miss going to work.
This is for everyone online, you know that, right? People are gonna take that out of context.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway.
Got any pictures of me at a school event? I'm sorry.
But it's okay, you good job.
Let's just cut that part out.
There are no rules in comedy. There are no rules in comedy.
Yeah, I was actually watching something about that the other night. I was watching Joey Diaz on the Joe Rogan show, and they were talking about that with comedy and how sort of like making really controversial jokes and kind of can't sort of do anymore.
It's true.
He was talking about it as someone that grew up in the sort of late 60s and early 70s. Joey Diaz, this is how like a lot of words that he has grew up with and used that he doesn't mean in an offensive way. It's just the way he was describing things would now be taken in a very different way, which is like, I mean, completely understandable. Like, I'm not sort of against that at all, but at the same time, I'm like, if you're going to watch comedy, you're kind of signing up for.
I think
a lot of comedians, their point is to offend you, and it's like it doesn't necessarily mean that they mean those things. It's just meant to be shock humour, which, well, not of all comedians, but like, you know, you look at Frankie Boyle, Jesus Christ. The only reason he gets away with what he does nowadays is because he's been doing that for 10 years.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if he emerged like that, then there's no chance he'd
I
get
mean,
on the air.
I know I'm very much the kind of person who would be considered privileged in the world. You know, like white, male, like cis, you know, heterosexual. All of these things that are just not sort of like something that we would consider with any sort of suffering. But I'm kind of the mind in that if you make jokes about something, it becomes less serious, and if it becomes less serious, it's less offensive to people, if that makes sense. People view it in a different way.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
Yeah, I mean,
think
like,
the more you joke about something, the more it affects you less as a person.
I feel like with someone who's a comedian, like if you're doing something off stage, then yeah, okay, that is a indication that you shouldn't be doing that. But like when you're on stage, you know, it's I mean, it's the same thing with like I mean like music in a way. It's that like, you know, when you've got a band on stage that do some crazy shit on stage, it doesn't necessarily reflect what they do.
Yeah.
In real life.
Exactly.
You know,
it's an act.
You can be explicit. It's meant to be entertaining. And the thing with entertainment is, like, without being a dick, like, if you're not entertained by it, then
go see something else.
Then go see something else.
Agreed. Well, obviously, people can repurpose things that are offensive to everybody,
and it really depends. Like, let's say a comedian, for instance, like we said, like if his whole set is like really derogatory towards black people, it's like, okay, there's
you have to make fun of everybody.
There's a bit of a difference there, you know. You can't be prejudiced in that sense, but but it's a hard topic because obviously, you know, racism and sexism or anything like that is a very serious issue, and it shouldn't be made fun of in a real situation and in a real and an important situation.
And I think unfortunately certain people just end up taking what someone makes a joke about and putting it to serious use, and it causes issues for everybody. But I feel like
there needs to be a balance.
Yes, definitely. And when there is a balance, there is peace and harmony in the universe. Like we have ended the end of our record. So thank you guys for joining.
Pretty quick. How long is the album?
49 minutes long.
Wow.
Well, a bit short.
That was a
'cause we've
quick
been talking for a
49
bit.
minutes.
But yeah,
Quick.
it's a good album. Like when we listen to other albums and like give our own
I
opinions.
mean,
of
mind
them.
you, I suppose compared to Bob Marley, it's like 35 minutes.
true.
Like last week, it does feel.
You,
a bit
you can't let them know what they missed.
Yeah.
Anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the
Thank you.
DemureCast. We've been listening to Led
It was
Zeppelin.
very relaxed today, actually. It was nice.
Yeah, it was a bit more chill, and I think we're gonna try and be more chill for it as the future goes on. You know, that's what you want from us. That's what you want from us.
It's what you want from us.
Yes.
Buy it.
One of
buy
us.
it.
Anyway,
buy
well,
it.
people, we wish you a lovely week. Have fun, love each other, and goodbye.
Mwah.
Bye.